For those who have been misfortunate enough to work in a fast food industry, you know how much working in fast food sucks. But for those who are lucky and have never experienced this, let me tell you some of my stories. Now, I've worked at 2 fast food restaurants. The first one was Jack in the Box. Now I'm working at Dunkin Donuts. The Jack in the Box, we're not even going to talk about that. I wasn't even there for a month before I quit. That's how bad it was. But now I've been currently working at a Dunkin Donuts for almost 4 months now, and these are my stories. For starters, let me say this. Sometimes it is completely empty, but a lot of the times it is very, very busy. And for privacy reasons and obvious reasons, I'm not going to disclose which Dunkin' Donuts I work at. And by the way, before I even get into it, I just want to say I'm pretty sure not every Dunkin' Donuts is like this, probably just mine. But the Dunkin' Donuts I'm at is very understaffed. And so when we're busy and we're making drinks, right, we have, like, for example, these coffee machines that brew coffee. But if we're busy and we run out of coffee, for example, like the normal original coffee, we will give somebody decaf. You know, our logic, and by we, I don't mean me. I mean like a lot of the staff. I'm not going to exaggerate and say everyone, but a decent majority of the staff will just give you decaf. And our logic is, well, you know, they fucking ordered coffee. They're expect to get caffeine. It's a placebo effect. They'll fucking feel it, you know? That is our logic. But it gets worse than that. Let's say somebody orders the Dunkin' Midnight. We run out of Dunkin' Midnight and we are busy and need to get customers out of here. What we will do is we will mix a bunch of coffee together to make some sort of fucked abomination, you know? And I've done this multiple times, and to this day, surprisingly, nobody's ever complained and said, oh, my coffee tastes funny. But I'd like to imagine I'd be like, well, here's your quote-unquote Dunkin' Midnight coffee, you know? And they take one sip out of this, and they're just like, Jesus Christ, why does it taste like caffeine and diabetes fucked? I can't even imagine it would taste good. If I get a rude customer, and I know I'm not the only one that does this, but I'm not gonna lie, not many people do this at work. If I get a customer who's just like being completely grumpy, completely rude, just, you know, not being a good customer, what I will do, let's say they order a donut, I will smash their donut with my thumb. So they get their donut and it's just smashed. There's like a fucking thumbprint in it. And, you know, it brings me serotonin. It makes me feel better about myself. Now, I'm gonna move on to like my personal, like the things that personally make me upset that probably doesn't piss off that many other people at work, things that I can't even logically explain why they make me mad. One of the things being is when people ask for less ice. I cannot explain why this pisses me off so much. Like, well, I guess I can. First of all, here I am at work, you know, sweating my ass off, like making orders left and right, just completely just busy, you know. And here's somebody on their day off, fuck it, maybe even unemployed, you know, just like, yeah, I'm gonna order this coffee and I'm gonna ask for less ice. That pisses me off so much. Like, it's unreal. So when they ask for less ice, I give them less ice. Instead of giving them a decent small amount of ice, I give them like 3 ice cubes, you know? They will get like this large ass iced coffee and it has 3 ice cubes and it's like, what? You asked for less ice. There's your less iced coffee. But here's the funny thing. When people specifically ask for less ice in a latte, this is something everyone does because we don't have a choice. When somebody asks for less ice in a latte, it screws up the entire system. For lattes, we fill the cup up completely with ice because our machines like make it so everything matches perfectly. The milk, the latte, and whatever else, you know? So it's completely full. So when people specifically ask for less ice in a latte, what we have to do is give them more milk, you know, and I'm already an asshole. So when somebody asks me for a latte with less ice, they're getting a latte with like 3 ice cubes, 90% milk, and espresso shot. Like it's like I keep like at that point they're just drinking a cup of like iced milk. It's disgusting. Another thing that annoys the living shit out of me is when people give me the exact change but the extra amount of whatever they're purchasing. For example, let's say they placed an order, they got some food, some drinks, and the total came out to be like $8.55. What some people do, and this happens occasionally, like you would think this is rare, but what a lot of people will do, they'll hand me $10.55. So that way, when I hand them their change back, it's just 2 bills. I don't know why, but that is very annoying to me. And sometimes, just to be an asshole, by sometimes I mean basically every time, instead of handing back them their exact change in bills, like, you know, cash, I will give them like maybe like $2 and like so many coins. And if they question, I'd be like, sorry, we ran out of bills in the register, so we have to give you change. Like, so let's say let's say their order was like $8 and like 55 cents. And they gave me like fucking, I don't know, $15 for whatever reason and 55 cents. I'll give them like $5 back, and the rest will be in like fucking 300 cents worth of coins. So they hand me like 2 quarters and 2 quarters and a nickel, and I hand them back like fucking 30 pennies, 20 dimes. Like, I just, it's like, I basically hand them a handful of change. It's like spilling all over the place. I'm like, sorry, man, we ran out of bills in the register, you know, and they get so mad, but I don't care. It makes me happy, you know. Oh my God, another thing that annoys the living shit out of me, and please, I beg you, when you go through drive-thrus, don't be this person that parks fucking 5 feet away from the window. When people park so far out of the window where I need to like literally hang outside of the fucking drive-thru window to hand them their food or whatever, I don't do that. I make them do that. I've had people open their doors to get their shit. I will simply stick my arm out as far as it goes out the window, and if they can't reach it, sorry. They're either leaning out their fucking car window to grab it or opening up the car door, you know. Nobody, like, you know, I'm sorry, but nobody asked you to drive like an idiot. Like, you literally had one job and you failed at it. That's another thing that pisses me off. Now, moving away from rants, let's move on to story times. This was when I was very new there. I probably haven't been working there for even a month yet. And we get paid every other Friday, basically like every 2 weeks. And I didn't get my paycheck on Friday, so I was like, all right, screw it. I'll come in Saturday morning. And we open at 3:30 in the morning. Well, for public, we open at 4:30, but staff is there at 3:30. So I was like, screw it, you know, I'll show up at 4:30. I don't even know why I mentioned 3:30. That was irrelevant. My bad. So I show up at 4:30 on a Saturday morning, right? There's nobody inside, which is already like kind of questionable. And I see one person inside, not in uniform. They're wearing a vest with half their chest revealing. And I'm knocking at the glass and they just shake their head like, nope. And I was like, I shake my head back like, yep, let me in. They just shake their head back, nope. And I was like, yes, let me in. I work here. And he goes, oh, you work here? Okay, bet. He opens up the door. It's a short, musty Mexican dude. I know that sounds racist. I'm Mexican. But basically, he opens up, you know, and he's just like, oh, yeah, I'm from a private company, blah, 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 you know, this and that. And I was like, okay, you know. And here I am in the store with this person that I've never met before. My logic is maybe I just haven't met this guy because I'm new. And so he's like, I wanted to open the back door, but I thought the fire alarm was going to go off, this and that. And now I'm starting to get like a bunch of red flags. So I end up calling my manager and explaining what's going on. And my manager's like, yeah, he's not supposed to be in there. Who the fuck is this guy? My manager like starts yelling at him. I pass my phone to this dude. And like the dude starts getting mad. Not at me, but at my manager. He's like, you know what? Your manager's of this and that and that and this. And just like really colorful, like fucking profanity details. And I don't know what the fuck's going on. Then it hits me. This guy is a fucking homeless. There was a homeless alone in our Dunkin Donuts at 4 a.m. with nobody there. You know, and it turns out he came in. And it was just mind-blowing. He didn't rob the place. He had a coffee. He said he shit in a trash can. We don't know how entirely true that is. I believe it. You know? And there was like this point where we were in the store together and he was like, oh, is this your guys' tip money? It was because we have our tips in a bag. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, here you go. And hands it over to me. So I gotta give him respect on some point for not robbing the store. He could have completely fucking thrashed the place. But yeah, and then it fucking hit me. After all this, I was like, oh my god, this was a homeless guy I saw at the gas station a week ago. It was a homeless guy. And after we kicked him out of the store, he was like, hey man, you got any weed? And I was like, nah, sorry bro, I don't got any weed. He's like, ah man, that's alright. You wanna go smoke some weed? And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Dude, like I'm literally protecting the store from a homeless man, and I'm not even working. I'm here on my days off, you know, and I had to file a statement. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, that was like probably one of the craziest stories. In our area, we do have a lot of homeless. Fucking, I think like a week or two ago, a homeless came and started screaming and yelling. about his coffee. That was kind of funny. But let me think about another good story. Alright, I can't think of any other good stories off the top of my head right now. And, you know, I might make a part 2 to this, depending on if people like this. This is my first, like, not my first YouTube video, but we're, you know, basically my first. We'll just say it's my first. Anyways, I will say this before I end the video. Sometimes I like messing with the customers because it gets very boring. Sometimes I'll be at the drive-thru and into the speaker when I'm taking somebody's order at the speaker, I just like put the mic right up to my mouth and just like completely ear rape whatever they're ordering, you know. I'll be like, hi, can I get a large coffee? And I'm just like just like completely just to fuck with them. A lot of the times it's like this joke has been overused by me so many times, but it's okay because it's always different customers. Sometimes when I'm handing everybody like their food through the drive-thru window, I have their credit card and I'll be like, did you want your credit card back? And they're like, yeah. And then I'm like, I'm kidding. And they start laughing because they realize like, yeah, I would like it back. This one time, the police showed up at the window, just ordering, not like we were in trouble or anything. So these 2 police officers showed up in their police car in uniform, everything, you know, and the officer driving the police car, the officer driver, I can't talk, I am very sorry, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sober right now. I know that's probably not something I should be sharing, but I gotta be honest. So anyways, the officer hands me his credit card, right, and I go, sir, is this credit card stolen? And he goes, what? And then I'm just like, I'm just kidding. And he just starts laughing hysterically. And he's like, that's funny. And that shit makes my day, you know, but I'm careful, you know, because again, we get a lot of grumpy customers, you know. If you're showing up to Dunkin and you haven't had your coffee yet, you know, I would imagine you'd be probably not in the best mood. So I am careful with who I make these jokes to, but yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like I basically just shit on working there. I'm not gonna lie, it is hard work. It is very, you know, physically draining and mentally draining. It's pretty difficult, I guess, what I'm trying to say, but it is fun. I do like it, and, you know, there's a lot of good parts to it, so I kind of want to apologize for shitting on it so much. It's not as bad as I make it sound. You know, the staff's cool. I like everyone there. You know, I'm not gonna lie, we all fuck around a lot, you know, not during like when it's busy or anything, but like when there's no customers, we all mess around with each other, throw like donuts at each other. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, so if you guys like this video, I'll make a part 2. Again, I'm sorry, I know this probably wasn't like the best formatted video. It wasn't professional and the audio is probably not the best, but give me some credit. I'll work on it more. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys want a part 2, or yeah, I don't know how to end videos yet, so this is how I'm gonna end it. Bye.